Also, to another developing story here at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in the office of Kiharu Member of Parliament, that is Ndindi Nyoro, who's currently addressing members of the Fourth Estate. Let's listen into what the lawmaker is telling the Fourth Estate.
It was also a profound learning experience that I am truly grateful for. I am also for the fact that I had trained as an economist some many years back in KU. And when I got the chance to serve as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, I had the first-hand learning of how macroeconomic parameters relate with each other. I was able to first-hand experience the things I was learning, and therefore it was also a continuation.
And we do apologize for that technical glitch. That is Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro reacting to some of the changes that were made within the House. You do remember he was the chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, currently led by Samuel Atandi. Of course, that in the major shake-up of the broad-based formation, bringing together the United Democratic Alliance as well as the Orange Democratic Movement. Our reporter Adan Ibrahim is currently following on that particular bit and will inform us in our subsequent bulletins about the changes within the August House. Also, a section of residents in Ruai, Kwamai, in Nairobi County have been left devastated after Sunday night's heavy downpour that turned their homes into flood zones. Now, the sudden flooding destroyed many families' homes, displacing them as several others lost their livestock. One of the affected families lost over 200 chickens to the floods. Residents claim that the contractor who was in charge of fixing the drainages failed to install a culvert, blocking a natural flow of water and leading to unexpected flooding. They are now calling on authorities to step in and address the situation before more damage is done.
Hii barabara imejengwa na barabara, tuseme barabara ni kitu mbaya, barabara ni kitu mzuri, lakini sasa hii barabara ilijengwa na hawakutengeneza drainage. So the thing tunyenye tuna request, just open these drainages ndio hii maji iweze kuenda.
Mvua kama ukiingia kwako inafika juu ya magoti maji, wengine wetu tuna watoto wadogo wanaenda shule, sasa inakuwa shida kubwa.
For us ni wakulima wa broilers, so tumeenda loss because we had like almost 600. And now 650, now tumebakisha only 100, which we are not sure kama zita survive.
Shida hii maji tumekuwa naye miaka yote, miaka nenda miaka rudi. Tukijaribu kuita wakubwa wetu, ma MCA, ma MP, hakuna mtu nakaribia hapa.
Serikali ni ije tu itutengenezee hapo barabara, hiyo barabara ya highway, watuweke like box culvert ndio maji ipite vizuri.
Let's head over back to the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where the Kiharu Member of Parliament, that is Ndindi Nyoro, is currently addressing members of the Fourth Estate, reacting to some of the changes that were made in key committees within the National Assembly. Let's listen in.
Things that then would make our country move forward, especially given the pivotal position which I was serving in. And if you look at this table around here, these two shelves is actually classwork. All this you see around here, these are issues around classwork. And I was doing it again and I'm repeating because I thought, and I still believe even now, that it is important that even as we serve in our specific capacities, that we continue to also develop ourselves, to sharpen ourselves, so that we can be making more efficient decisions as leaders. So in a nutshell, I have been very, very, I should be very grateful, and I have been very honored by the Kenyan people to have served in that capacity, and especially when our country really needed us to do what we needed to do. just as snapshot of, so that you understand where I'm coming from. This position is very involving, and I am sure many of you have covered us before. Sometimes sleeping in this office, living here very early in the morning. Not just myself, also the members of the members we were serving with. But it was also an experience also to learn and know Kenya. There are things we used to do called public participation, where we would choose. We started with 12, we ended up with 20, where we would allocate some retro money, actually 100 million per county, and we would then go there to ask Kenyans what they would prefer that we prioritize. The last one, I was privileged to actually travel all the way to Madeira and interact with the people of Madeira, and I am glad that I have had many of such experiences to also relate what we do on the table and how that is far-reaching and how that affects the lives of the Kenyan people. For example, there when we went, the leaders were very categorical. There was a teachers, a TTC, Teachers Training College, and a KMTC, which they told us the entire 100 million to give to those two. Because when we go all out to do those things, we specifically look at the impact of how those projects would work. And also by giving preference to what the leadership and the people themselves request us to, or were requesting us to do. Having said that, also for perspective's sake, and allow me to say it because it is how it is. At some point we got too busy, because you remember.
Well, that is Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro addressing members of the Fourth Estate, reacting to some of the changes that were made within the National Assembly, given that he was spearheading a very critical committee, that is the Budget and Appropriation. He has been replaced by Alego Songa, Member of Parliament, that is Samuel Atandi, who now will be spearheading that particular committee, and will be looking at the 2025-2026 budget proposals from the Exchequer. Our reporter once more, Aden, is currently attending that particular briefing and will brief us in our subsequent bulletins.